All right, guys, how we doing? Oh, listen, we got a lot to talk about today. We got NBA scandals. We got, the World Series going on. Lots going on there. We got coaching round tables in NCAA. We may have coaching round tables in the NFL as well. We're just going to have to see what happens, but we're going to talk about it right now. Thank y'all for being with us. Let's get into it, see what we got. Let's start with the World Series because that's tied up 2 games apiece. And boy, oh boy, let's pull it up here. They're tied up at 2 games apiece. Now, they play today, right? They just played yesterday. They play today, and then they play on Friday again. This thing might go all 7 games because they're tied up at 2 apiece right now, and it's been hellaciously good games, including an 18-inning game, which was wild. So, yeah, gonna have to see what happens there. I'm still say the Dodgers are going to win this, but that's me personally. And that's because of their offense once it comes down to the brass tacks. But that's just me personally. The Blue Jays are playing extremely good ball. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But that's where I think we are right now. So, tell me what you think in the comments. Let me know down there, and we'll see what's happening. But anyway, yeah. Probably the best World Series I've seen in a long time. I've actually watched 2 games now myself. I haven't really kept up with baseball like kept up in a long, long time. NHL is cranking up too. We'll get to that soon. And we got, college basketball cranking up. We got that going. We'll get to all of that soon, okay? But yeah. That's your World Series news. Now, NBA basketball. Man, the scandal. The scandal. Gambling. Which everybody knows. Everybody bets on sports. Come on. I mean, I can't hear where I am because it's illegal. But, sports betting apps and what have you, sure. And there's players using them. Of course there is. Just like everybody else, right? But this goes way deeper than that. This is mob ties. This is, cheating beyond cheating. Like big time poker and blackjack and what have you with, x-ray tables and all kinds of stuff in this. It's a mess. The question is, how deep does it go? Now, we know of 2 so far, and 2 have been suspended so far, a coach and a player. But how deep does it actually go? And how much is it going to cost the NBA? Now, the problem I see with that, my personal opinion, these guys are making a lot of money already. A lot of money. I don't see the point, other than greed. But I mean, my God, the things you couldn't do with the kind of money that these guys make on a regular basis. And I'm talking about the big stars. I'm not talking about the league minimum. I'm talking about the big stars. They make a lot of money. There's a lot of things you could do with that to make even more money. Start businesses, all that kind of stuff, and with, deals they make for advertising and what have you. I mean, they're making a ton. So, yeah. Greed like that gets you nowhere, but, that's my personal, like I said, that's my personal opinion. But anyway, we got some games today and throughout this week. Got a couple of good games today, too. Rockets and Raptors. Magic and Pistons. Cavs and Celts. Cavs and Celtics might be a really good game. Hawks and Nets. Kings and Bulls. Pacers and Mavs. I don't know about that one. The Mavs ain't looking too good lately. Or is that just me? Doesn't seem like it to me. Trailblazers and Jazz. Pels and Nuggets. That could be a decent game if the Pels show up. Lakers and Timberwolves. That could be a really good game. And then Grizzlies and Suns. So you got some decent games on today. I'm just wondering how bad this scandal is going to hurt the NBA when it's all said and done. When all the names come out, everything comes out as to who's involved. Is it current players that are going to be involved and wrapped up in current players and coaches, like the two that are already in? Or is it going to be, past players and coaches, or a mix of both that's really going to hurt the league? It's hard to say right now, but we'll have to see what comes out of that. We'll keep an eye on it. I'll let y'all know as we know. All right? Now, let's get to some coaching carousel here, because there's a mess in the NCAA. LSU just fired Brian Kelly. You've got Penn State open. You've got Florida open. Yeah, you got a lot going on. And now, on the hot seat, Luke Fickell at Wisconsin. Lost 10 of the last 12. That's not good. That's, in the Big Ten, you can't do that. But it's going to have to, a lot's going to have to change if he's going to keep his job in Wisconsin. Now, where am I at? Let me get down here. And Mike Norvell at Florida State. 5-14 record and a miserable 1-11 mark in ACC play. That's not going to work for Florida State either. So that could be on the line. I would say that is on the line. Absolutely. Who else we got? Hugh Freeze at Auburn. Yeah, 0-4 in conference play this year. That's not going to make it either. SEC ball, you're not going to make it on that. And not scoring more than 17 points in an SEC game, that's not going to make it either. That's not going to get you to Atlanta and then eventually into the playoffs. So, yeah, it looks like Hugh is going to be out. Jonathan Smith at Michigan State. 0-4 in conference play this year. Yeah, that's not going to make it either. So Michigan State could be open too. I mean, there's some legends that are going to get some calls. Now, whether they, like I said, whether they answer the phone or not is another story. A friend of mine and I were just talking about that the other day. Bill Belichick at North Carolina. Now, North Carolina, Bill may not be gone yet. This was an experiment. Everybody knew that, I think, going in. He had never coached college ball. Always been an NFL coach and a very successful one. I mean, let's get that clear. When Tom Brady and the rest of the crew were in New England. Very successful. But since then, just been kind of going downhill. Now, Bill doesn't have his, he hasn't recruited anybody yet, so he has, he's still working with what was left over, being his first year there at North Carolina. So Bill may be safe for now, but I would say, yeah, unless you get some wins, you're going to be on the hot seat, Who else we got? Well, Brian Kelly, we know he's gone. He just got done for last week. So, yeah, that's for now. Now, where it goes from here, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I don't think that's all. I really don't. I don't think that's all. And I don't think the NFL is done either, because you've got a couple of teams that are, again, a friend of mine and I just talking the other day. I think you got a couple of teams that are vying for the first round pick in the draft, and they might as well play each other now and see who's going to get it, because the Tennessee Titans and New Orleans Saints are definitely vying for it right now. So what we're going to have coaching-wise there, ownership-wise, I don't know. But, boy, is it going to be fun finding out in the offseason. I'll be looking forward to the draft, too. There is one question that's been coming up about the draft, though. Is there anybody that is, is there a top 10 going into the draft this year that everybody would say? Well, I know of a couple that I would say, yeah, they definitely deserve to be up there. But as far as the top 10, I'm not so sure right now. We're still looking at college ball this year, and that top 25 has changed so many times, it's not funny. So we're not even sure who's going to be in the playoffs this year, except for maybe two that we know of for sure. Two or three that we could say, okay, yeah, they're going to be there, But other than that, it's hard to say right now, because it's a carousel team-wise, too, as to who's going to be in the top 25 or top 10 when all this is settled and done in the next couple weeks. But we'll keep an eye on that. We'll get to that here in just a little while. As a matter of fact, I'll be back with the college football breakdown, and I'll be back with the pro breakdown after a while. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it very much. If you enjoyed it and you want to stick around, subscribe button, all that is down below. We appreciate it. All right? I'll see y'all later. We're out.